I used to get laid. Now I get laid even more. With Tactical Soap, pheromone-infused soap for men, proud channel sponsor of 21 Studios. I'm Anthony Dream Johnson, and I approve this soap.
Order now, the link below. Use coupon code 21C for 10% off now.
George Bruno for the 21 Report in Orlando, Florida. And Richard Cooper just came off the stage, inspiring and educating the audience. We're going to talk to him now about some things that are important for men. Welcome, Richard.
Thanks.
How's your experience so far with the 21 convention?
It's great. It's the second year back. Everybody's phenomenal, well organized. It's a good place to be if you're a guy that wants to excel in the world. Like honestly, if you're stuck, if you're looking for some kind of hint or cue to up your game, to unlock some level of achievement that you haven't hit yet, it's a place to go.
I like that. I have been talking about getting unstuck for a long time, and I kind of like how you describe that. What would be the biggest areas that you've observed that men are stuck in?
Well, I think it ties in a few areas like self-care, women, the creation of wealth and money. They don't know where to start. A lot of it is looking for cheat codes that don't exist. One of the things I talked about today. They're looking for the codes to play the video game of life on God mode, and you have to do the work in life if you want to get to where you want to go. But in an environment like this, it's hard not to, because you're surrounded by excellence. You're always the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And one night you could be with 5 people that are excellent in one thing, self-care, let's say. Another night, guys excellent at game. Another night, guys talking about business, entrepreneurship, the creation of wealth. It's all there. You just have to put in the time and do the work.
You mentioned a theme that I've heard over the months, and the phrase is cheat codes, and that's consistent with the whole thing. We've seen this for about 10 years now, life hacks, cheat sheets, and all these things. Explain that to our audience.
They go looking for the shortcuts. Let me take a pill and lose 20 pounds in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Let me rub on this cream under my eyes and wipe away 20 years of wrinkles. They sell a lot of that stuff very successfully. But in life, there's no cheat codes whatsoever. You have to do the work. If you want to make $1 million, you're going to have to do the things that are going to bring $1 million to you. If you want beautiful women in your life, you're going to have to be the man that beautiful women want to be with. I think the problem is a lot of guys are unwilling to invest in doing the work. And that's part of the reason why you'll see when we talk on YouTube, for example, and broadcast messages, there's a lot of people that feed back and, I'm really thinking about going to that 21 convention, but, sell me on it. No, I don't. It is what it is. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and the teacher is right in front of you. But if you're not going, it's because you're not ready. So I think it's important to, if you've got that inkling, if you got that, the Gina tingles, pull the trigger. Yeah. Because this may not be around in 2 years. Yeah.
Because this type of content is being banned and deleted from public domains.
Yep.
That's why we have to take our content to our own places.
Exactly.
And I noticed you did that with a magnificent website called entrepreneursandcars.com.
Yeah. I built a private community. A lot of the stuff that I publish on YouTube doesn't even end up on the channel. It only ends up in the community. And I do that because it's not appropriate for the public. If men want to excel at life and they need to unlock that next level of achievement, they need to hear the cold, hard truth about the reality of where they're sitting and where they want to go. And sometimes those things shine an unfavorable light on the sexes, on their commitment to wealth, on their commitment to self-care, things like that. So I put them in a private community for that very reason. It's also highly valuable information. So anything of any value should be charged, for people to access it. That's just a philosophy that I have. I mean, you give people those, that special access. Yeah, I'm going to charge you, kids.
Absolutely.
as my friend Aaron says.
Yeah. It's interesting. You've heard the people talk about, like, never go shopping when you're hungry.
Right.
Because you're going to pull garbage off the shelf. You're going to be impulsive. But trying to give food to a person who just ate, who is not hungry, is almost a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the data that you're giving, some people might not relate to it because they're not feeling the need for it.
Mm-hmm.
Who benefits the most from your content?
Guys specifically that have dealt, two categories actually, 90% guys that have dealt with trauma in their life and want to reconcile it and move past it. Guys that want to do the work. There's kind of some guys in between there, and then there's women on the feminine side that want to be a fly on the wall just to try to understand how men think.
Mm-hmm. Where does the phrase "do the work" apply in people's lives? Money, intersexual dynamics. Tell us about those things in relationship to do the work.
There's no cruise control in life. There's no just going to do one thing once and we're just going to sit back and relax, right? Like one of the things I talked about in my chat today was the fact that if you're going to get married, if you're going to wife a woman up, you're going to have to game her for the rest of your life. And I don't mean game as in like, pickup artistry, walking up to them and, hey baby, and what, anything like. It's like you actually have to do the things that you did that you got her with throughout the rest of the relationship. And too many guys relax in life. They get to a certain point at their job, in their relationships with their wife, with their friends and their peers, where they just stop. They really want to go on cruise control. I remember there was a friend of mine that said to me one time, he goes, employees will start working. The day that they start working is the day that you tell them that they don't have a job if they don't do their job, sort of thing, right? They'll always do the bare minimum in life. And that's how they get the bare minimum results out of life. That's how they end up with terrible relationships. That's how they end up heartbroken. That's how they end up run through the divorce machine and spit out the other end a fraction of their former selves, sort of thing. So taking ownership and really doing the work, easy to say, hard to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you've been through some of that yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You're not talking just from an academic point of view. You've experienced some of these things.
Yeah. I had 3 back-to-back experiences. 39 was getting divorced. Then I saw legislative changes in my main business come into effect, which really crippled things, basically nearly shut us down. We managed to survive that. And then I fell into a pretty bad phase of, heartbreak, shatter, one-itis, single mommy breakup sort of thing. And it was like one thing after the other. It's like I was getting no results out of life. I was not feeling fulfilled. I wasn't feeling like I was putting my dent in the universe, sort of thing. And I only had myself to blame. I was in the driver's seat. I was a guy that got up out of bed in the morning, and I lived in the meat sack body that I was in, and I made the choices every day. And it's really simple. If you get crappy results out of life, make better choices. How do you make better choices? You update your belief system.
Yeah. It's interesting, when I was talking with Ivan Throne, he said in his Ivan kind of way, he says, I don't do pity.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of pity. I get called an asshole a lot because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there for the pity party. There's people that are there to do the pity. Let them do it. Does it fill their cup? I don't know. It never did mine, and I don't see how it's fulfilling to, try to level out the playing field, to create the empire of nothing. Jack Donovan uses that phrase a lot, the empire of nothing, the pity. What about this person over there and the other place over there? We have to be kind and think of them. Well, you can do that, sure, but you only have so much energy in your day. Reserve your energy, aka your fucks, for things that are fuckworthy. Things that are deserving of that energy, you decide where to allocate it. Is it going to put an impact in your life? Is it going to increase your wealth? Is it going to make you better with women? Is it going to improve your self-care? I don't know. It's up to you, right?
Nobody became a fan or sustained fanship, or fanhood, I should say, because they were pitied.
Mm-hmm.
Pity, I think, weakens people.
It does. I agree.
I know Ryan Stone said something where he had a speech written, and at the last minute he got rid of it, and someone told him, don't tell them stuff that they want to hear. Tell them stuff that they
need to
hear.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what I get out of Richard Cooper, is that you're not going to get coddled. He's going to tell you what you need to hear. Is it hard for you to give somebody cold, hard truth at times? Is that hard for you?
No, because life came at me with cold, hard truths. You know, my talk last year when I was at the 21 convention, I was talking about how I've got like third-degree burns on my upper body, my chest, my arms, and what that was like growing up, and that was like an immersion into life. I don't know, maybe at an earlier age, so to speak, and pity. You know, the pity party doesn't do anything for anybody. It doesn't do anything for people around you. Doesn't do anything for you. Taking ownership and accepting things as they are, and adapting and moving forward. That's what matters. That's what's going to put a dent in the universe. That's what's going to make you the man that other men want to be and other women want to be with.
And to change the subject a little bit, last year you were tall and trim. This year you're tall and jacked as hell. It is such a difference. You've been working out a lot, haven't you?
Not more than before, but I added testosterone replacement therapy to the routine.
And that has made the difference for you.
Big difference, huge difference. And not just in the physical appearance. I mean, brain fog is reduced, better focus, you sleep better. You just function better in the world. I mean, you get to walk around in a strong, masculine, virtuous male physique. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's guys that will go on TRT and they won't lift weights and they'll still do a little bit better.
Yeah.
But, you know, why own a Ferrari and put gas in a tank if you're not going to drive it properly?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So do you discuss that issue in your private community?
I do. And I mentioned it today in the talk. It's highly valuable. I mean, you got to understand, like, as a guy, biologically, you're going to decline year over year as you age. Your endocrine system's it's not going to be optimal. You're going to have brain fog as you age. You don't wake up with morning wood anymore. That's like one of the standard sort of symptoms of low testosterone or maybe higher estrogen. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to sit back and just age and, sit on your couch and sort of die? Or do you want to do something about it? Do you want to go out with a big bang? I know how I want to walk around in the world and present myself. And, like you said, the optics of being physically strong and masculine, I think you have an advantage. To me, $180 a month is worth it. I'll pay it to impose that, signal out on the world sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the optics that I saw when you walked in this year were absolutely amazing. And I have been a regular watcher of your content, but there's something about seeing somebody in person, and it really was like, wow. I like, it was immediate. Mm-hmm. It was immediate. How has the change in your body affected your life?
You're just more useful. You're stronger. You're more focused. You feel more like a man. Because, I mean, what happened for me was there was days where I was unfocused. I was unable to complete anything. Literally, I was like, thwarted in that sense. I would go to the gym and think, okay, let's go to the gym. And I'd go there and I'd have no energy. I'd have no motivation. I'd go in there with the intent of pounding out a big chest day and do like some Mickey Mouse calf workout that had no impact on my body. I'm not stressing my body. Mm-hmm. And for your body to grow, for it to remain strong, the muscles need to be forced into resistance exercises. And if you don't have the motivation, if you don't have the strength to do that because your endocrine system's out of balance. And for me, it wasn't low testosterone. Like my testosterone levels were actually not bad. My estradiol was higher, meaning that my testosterone was converting naturally in my body to estrogen. One of the symptoms of that, by the way, is tender nipples. And I had very low vitamin D, which I didn't even know. So if you live north of the tropics or south of the tropics, it's very important, anybody to supplement with vitamin D. The government regulations say something like, 1,000 IU per day. I'm supplementing with like close to 15,000. And it's just a spray. It's in a bottle. It's oil-based under the tongue. Do that a few times a day. Mm-hmm. So I'm aiming for optimal hormonal function. So it's not just let's pin testosterone and let it ride and big muscles will grow. Yeah. You can't do that. You've got to manage the entire system. You've also got to force, resistance on your body for it to maintain strength and grow. The biggest difference before and after, If you were to ask my girl, she'd say that I'm tighter.
Mm.
Not bigger, like the optics didn't change.
Yeah.
You noticed it because I hadn't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
But for somebody that has known me for that period of time, it's just, you feel tighter.
Yeah. And all of this is part of your private community.
Yeah.
What does belonging to your private community, what is the investment that a person would make to be part of your community? Is it a monthly recurring charge?
Yeah, it's monthly subscription. It's like a Netflix membership, $10 a month. And you get access to
$10 a month.
That's it. Yeah.
I always despised people that say, for the price of a cup of coffee a day, you can, fill in the blank. But seriously, for $10 a month, you do the math, I mean, holy cow.
Yeah. And I mean, the stuff they get there is they're getting access to how to get divorced without getting divorce raped, how to get over one-itis, how to use online dating.
Yeah.
I obviously talk about self-care and testosterone optimization, like things that matter to men. Like I can't have this conversation about, well, here's the best way to go through the divorce machine and not get completely cleaned out. But if I upload it to my private community and put it behind the paywall, then only guys are going to go into it and they're going to access the content. It's not public. So I think it's important to, if you offer value, give it to people, but charge them for it. And those that want it will, of course, pay for it. Those that don't will complain. That's fine. They can sit on the sidelines and not learn anything.
Right. I find that we spend money on so many frivolous things. I mean, a single phone call to your lawyer is going to cost anywhere between $300 and $500 for most people. A visit to your doctor's office and a prescription is going to cost you something. $10 a month is nothing. Mm. It's not even a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, I should be charging more.
The value that people get in your private community is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. How did you start Entrepreneurs in Cars?
I hated my life at the time, running a business that beat the crap out of me with some legislative changes. I've mentioned point number 2. And I needed a break. And I figured I really like fast cars and hanging out with entrepreneurs. And I have some friends that have been successful that like cars. Maybe I'll interview them in their cars and they can tell their story and their success ride. And I would drive it. But I ran out of friends with cool cars after about 5 episodes. So I just kind of started to fill it in. I was talking about how to hire people with parties and how to use lawyers in your business and things like that. And then one day somebody came along after the audience was maybe around 1,000 subscribers, and they said, you should do a video on the kind of women to avoid dating. And that came at an opportune time because I had just broken up and I had some experience there, so I shared that story. And then it was shortly after that that I got red pilled. I got into the Rational Mail and a bunch of the other stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I find your content different than what I call like the Lamborghini boys, like the Here in My Garage guys.
Yeah.
It's so much more realistic, actionable. It's not quick fix. It's what people need to hear, not what they want to hear. Tell the audience again how they can access your information.
Yeah, just hop on the website, entrepreneursincars.com/community. Sign up there, and you get access to all of the perks.
And then finally, last but not least, there's a flabby guy sitting out there right now watching this on his cell phone. He's lost hope. He's where you or I may have been many years ago. He doesn't know about the red pill community. He doesn't know about self-care. He doesn't know about being his best version. He never even heard the phrase, do the work. Speak to him, put a spark in his soul in the Richard Cooper way.
I think it's simple. Do you want to win at life? Do you want to leave a dent in the universe? Do you want to have some impact? Or do you want to suck at it? Because if what you've been doing isn't working, then it's time to unplug the crappy belief system that's gotten you the crap results and update it. And it's going to take some changes. It's uncomfortable. You're going to do some things that are uncomfortable. People are going to judge you for changing your behavior. But it's worth it. If you feel it's worth it. If not, stay the course. It's cool. Doesn't bother me.
George Bruno for the 21 Report, talking with Mr. Richard Cooper from Entrepreneurs in Cars. Thank you, Richard.
Thanks.